Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of our Coffee Chat series. Today's conversation is one that I'm personally excited about because it speaks directly to a major core of our mission here at Cafe Innovate Hub, which is helping companies transition from traditional market to digital marketplaces. We all know the reality that small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and many of them are still struggling with digital adoption. And it's because there's one small shop owner that knows that selling online will be quite beneficial, but they don't really know how or where to start from. It's also because there's a fashion designer somewhere that's afraid of going online because it means they'll be competing with the big brands. And these are just some of the real challenges that our MSMEs face. So today we are going to be digging a little deeper into these challenges, and we'll also be exploring practical solutions with our guest, Emmanuel Gabriel, an industry expert who has worked closely with businesses to support their growth. Hi, Emmanuel. Welcome to the session.
Hi, Hope. I'm super excited to be joining in this section, and I'm looking forward to the conversation and how rich we are going to cause a change. And we're actually going to learn a lot, and I hope to also learn as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to have you here. So, Emmanuel Gabriel is actually a seasoned business developer, digital transformation strategist, and ecosystem enabler with extensive experience driving innovation, digital inclusion, and startup growth across Nigeria and Africa. With a proven record of leading high impact programs, scaling tech hubs, apologies, and facilitating landmark investments, he has played a pivotal role in empowering individuals, startups, and communities through strategic partnerships and technology-led initiatives. So once again, thank you for joining us, Emmanuel. So let's
Thank
just get into yeah. From your experience, Emmanuel, what is the single biggest barrier that is holding MSMEs back from digital adoption, and what mindset shift do you think that they need before even the tools or even the training matter?
All right, thank you so much, Hope. So over time and over my years of experience with SMEs, I would say one of the biggest barrier is not the technology in itself, but the perception of the technology. And I will explain. Many SMEs believe that going digital can complicate or or bring a loose in how their structure is being. And there are so much fears of losing control, so much fears of being defrauded, so much fear of getting trapped in the system. They do not fully understand. I would say, to be truthful, going digital is no longer an option. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. We're in the world of AI. We're in the world of big data. So going digital is no longer an option. It's a necessity. I want to look at it as a very oxygen for the business growth that you want to see in today's economy, right? SMEs must see technology not just as a replacement for their traditional model, but as an enabler to amplify their reach, right? And to also increase productivity and competitiveness, right? We want to see business, we want to see SMEs think local and go global, right? We want to see SMEs bring around innovations locally that can expand globally. So these are what we are hoping to see, and this is what I'm seeing, and these are some of the barriers. So they have to be a shift, a mindset shift, a education shift as well, to make all these challenges break. We have to have a paradigm shift around how SMEs see technology and perceive technology and receive the technology. So there have to be global adoption, to what technology is and how they accept the technology. Basically that. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel. Absolutely. I really agree. And that was such an interesting and vivid description. The mindset is majority of the times the biggest hurdle that anybody can ever face. And I believe that once we start believing that digital tools are not just, digital tools, they are, like Emmanuel said, the oxygen for our business growth. And that's when real transformation begins. So, Emmanuel, we get a lot of feedback from small business owners about how they are scared of competing online. And you know how it can seem like the bigger players have budgets for ads, for influencers, and even, the tech team. So these small business owners feel overwhelmed or, drowned out. So my question right now is how can small businesses realistically compete and stand out in the crowded digital spaces without huge budgets?
Thank you so much. This is actually a very, very interesting question. Um Over the years, advertising for SMEs and startups across Africa have seen that success in the digital space is not driven by budgets. I will want to say that over and over again. Success in advertising is not driven by budget, but about creativity, authenticity, and consistency. Consistency. And I would want to say small businesses have an advantage to even big businesses. And I will explain. Um, they are close to their customers. They understand the local realities. They can personalize faster than big corporations, right? They have competitive edge. SMEs should leverage low cost or free tools. We have a lot of free tools such as WhatsApp My Business, such as AI. Sorry, I'm saying a lot about AI. I'm passionate about AI and how AI can ease a lot of stuffs for SMEs and businesses, right? To increase productivity. Those are productivity tools, right? And also Google My Businesses. I think SMEs need to understand such tools. They can even start learning how to use Canva for affordable branding and marketing materials, right? To ensure that they show up local research and also do their homework properly. Um, there's a lot that I think SMEs are not looking into, especially Facebook marketplace, Instagram shops for reaching buyers without even building extensive e-commerce platform. So I don't think small businesses have a disadvantage, but I would say they have an advantage than because they are close to their customers, they understand the pain points of their customers. They have a better standpoint to tell their stories, to share their journey, to share their values to their customers and make them feel authentic because they are more closer to their customers than most of those big corporations. So some of the keywords that I would say is consistency, trustworthy, and be visible. Be very, very visible. Always show up. Always show up. So I think those are some of the um points I will want to emphasize on that SMEs should always look at and among many others. Thank you.
Thank you. I love this, Emmanuel. From what you've said, it really shows that going digital doesn't always mean spending big money. You just need to be smart, be consistent, be authentic with the available tools that you have access to, and it will help you become productive at the end of the day. And like Emmanuel
Exactly.
mentioned, that there are a
Exactly.
lot of tools, like free tools, like the Google My Business, WhatsApp Business, Facebook Marketplace. That all of these tools are very important and they are free. I mean, you can start from them because there are a lot of your customer base on those platforms. So be consistent, always show up, and you don't really need too much money before you are able to go digital. But then
Yes,
let's
and
also be very real, Emmanuel. Okay,
okay.
go ahead.
So and there's something that I will want to always emphasize. As a business, you have one primary focus. Don't die. No matter what, don't die. As long as you stay in long enough, you will win. You will surely win. There's always light. There will be a spark. And as long as you are long enough, you will stay long enough in the business. You understand all the pitfalls. You understand how to navigate the market. You With experience comes ease. Experience bring ease because when you stay long in the business, you become a leader in the business. You understand
Yeah,
some barriers to entry, and that's just some few points I want to just add to those previous points I mentioned earlier. So thank you so much.
I can thank you, Emmanuel. But you know that data is very expensive today. You know, power in many of our communities is very unreliable. And we've not even talked about how some of the digital tools that we're even encouraging these businesses to use need them to pay for subscriptions before they can access some of the most important features. And I know that many of our MSMEs may not be able to keep up paying for tools that make them subscribe on a monthly basis, how much more annually. But then, digital adoption really requires all these kinds of investment. So, Emmanuel, I don't know. I know you mentioned, a few of them,
Yeah.
before the grow my business and all of that, the Canva. But are there some other low cost tools or even free tools that these businesses can leverage right now that will help them begin their digital transformation journey? So I just want you to take a deep dive into the tools itself.
All right. Thank you so much. I think there are a lot of tools that SMEs can look at, right? Earlier on, I mentioned Facebook, I mentioned Canva and the likes, right? Um, those are also free tools, right? But might require data. And I would want to say that for any SME, right, looking at going global and expanding reach, right? Investing in data is not a necessity. It is not just a necessity, but is a priority, right? You have to take it as a priority, not just a luxury. You have to invest in data. You have to invest in putting yourself out there, going to the marketplace, and those tools such as Facebook, TikTok, all those social media tools, and many more, right? Many more. There are a lot of AI tools that automate processes quickly, right? That from your Facebook, it just automates directly to you using your WhatsApp My Business and all that. It can ease processes for SMEs, right? Going digital. There are a lot of tools that I would love to mention, right? But practically, we are dealing with SMEs. So I want to emphasize on tools that I know that SMEs are familiar with, right? That they can easily see and know, which is Facebook My Business. I know a lot of people know that Canva and all that. So I want to emphasize on those tools primarily first. And I think maybe next time when we are having more deep dive as well, when SMEs understand how to use these tools first, because there are a lot of SMEs, right? And I'm saying this out of experience, right? Practical experience. When we have conversations with SMEs, right? Most SMEs will tell us that they don't even know how to use Facebook My Business. They don't know how to use Canva for their businesses. They don't know how to use some of these tools that are not just tools but are productive tools. And I was watching a video of yours on YouTube, and you mentioned in your video, you mentioned some tools, and you mentioned that it is not just mere tools, but those are survival tools for any business. So I want to emphasize that businesses should look at survival tools right now, because the market is very, very competitive. So you need those tools to actually compete as well.
Exactly, Emmanuel. I mean, even look at the WhatsApp My Business. I mean, a lot of us always have data on our phones for other things, watching TikTok videos, watching a lot of all these videos that probably are not really doing much for our businesses or for us personally. So, I mean, WhatsApp Business is a very good tool that you can use, and it has given us, features of being able to create ads, you understand? So I think that our MSMEs need to really understand that you don't need to buy like the most expensive tools. No, you don't really need to subscribe to all the platforms before they can become productive for you. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that there are a lot of very productive tools, and Manuel has just mentioned a lot of them, and you can access them for free. And the free version actually can go a long way in setting you up for success. So again, start small, start with the tools that allow you to have access to a free account, and you really see a very big difference. So moving on to our next question, Emmanuel, a very key component of our MSMEs going digital is the skills itself. Yes, I know that we've mentioned in this conversation already that some of them do not even know. First of all, they don't know where to start, and then they don't even know how to handle the tools. For example, the Facebook My Business. Where do they go to find Facebook My Business? And these businesses are very aware of the benefits of the digital tools, and they can afford it, but they still lack the skills, sorry, to use them. And I don't know, my question to you, Emmanuel, is how do we bridge that digital skills gap? I know we have a lot of um training sessions where people tell the businesses how to go here, how to go here. Do you think that's something that they need? How do we bridge the digital skills gap for these MSMEs? And while also building their trust in the digital systems that they are using? Especially for those that only know cash transactions, they only know manual transactions, they only know face to face, speaking to their customers. How do we build their trust in this digital system?
All right, thank you so much. This particular question is a very interesting question, right? I want to firstly state that digital skill gap, the digital skills gap in Nigeria is very, very real, right? From my work with Tech Hub, right, I've managed a tech hub. I'm also pushing a particular tech hub as well right now, and among many others, right? I've worked with fintechs, right? I've worked in ecosystem programs across Nigeria, right, to structure programs for SMEs. I will want to emphasize three key levelers, right? I will mention that levelers. So I think there are no much practical demonstration. They are more of theory, no practical demonstration over theory, right? We cannot just lecture SMEs, maybe innovation hubs, training centers, programs from development partners and all that, right? We cannot just lecture SMEs. We must show them, right? For instance, helping a market woman receive her first mobile transfer instantly, building trust more than just a 3-day training workshop, building trust more than just a 1 week seminar, right? Showing them hands-on practical steps on how to navigate their path towards it, right? Showing them not just by theory, just not just mere theory and just this English that we always will say, right? But giving them
Yeah.
hands-on feel, right? And telling them how to go about it and how to navigate around it, teaching them the ropes, right? So I think that will help. So the first time I mentioned was practical demonstration. Okay, practical demonstration. Second, I want to say peer-to-peer influence. Peer-to-peer influence. And this is very, very vital. I must say. SMEs must learn how to trust people in their own network first, right? If their peers are successing using digital payments, right? Online marketing, they are more likely to adopt and build local champions to accelerate adoption, right? When you see Mama Nkechi is using digital tools for payment adoption, and she's striving very hard. She's striving well with those tools. Mama Ngozi, we want to accept it as well. Do you understand? So peer-to-peer influence will go in a very, very key way. When we look at solving a problem for 50 SMEs, it will accelerate growth, right? Because more SMEs will look at it and want to accept it as well, right? It will bring around adoption, right? So I think that's also something that tech hubs, training centers, partners, people that crafting out programs for SMEs should also look at to help them grow and for ease of doing business. And also I want to commend one money point. Money point has been a lifesaver to a lot of SMEs. Many SMEs are using money points, POS and all that. And this is what we want to see in the innovation landscape. And we also want to appreciate that because of such impact and such growth. Till last year or this year, money points became a unicorn, right? So if we look deep down inside and solve these problems, there are large markets that many SMEs will want to also accept. And the last point I want to make is transition models. So many SMEs will not um abandon their cash, their easy cash money, cash and go, collect and cash and go, right? Immediately. They would not want to just abandon it just like that. Instead, we should introduce a blend system. And I will explain where they can accept both cash and digital payments until they gain
Yes.
confidence doing models digitally. So it should be a hybrid transition model whereby they trust the growth, and when SMEs see immediate and relatable benefit, more customers come in faster, transaction happen quicker, it reduce risks and theft. So they will also accept such technology. They will also accept such innovation. So those are the key points that I want to highlight, that if such quick fix can be solved, it will ease a lot of peers and also what SMEs will also want to look at. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Emmanuel. I'm learning a lot myself, and I'm sure that everybody that's watching this video also have a lot that they've learned so far in this session. It's so in depth and very interesting. So let's now talk about policies, right? This is a time where our MSMEs are feeling a little abandoned. And of course, we have enabling policies, but many of these policies just sound very good on paper and they rarely translate into support for our MSMEs in reality. So, in your honest view, Emmanuel, are the current government and private sector interventions truly working for MSMEs, or are they missing the mark? And if you could, what will you change about all of this?
All right. I This is a very, very good question. For this question to be tailored at me, I think this question is actually is speaking to me directly, personally. So I want to be honest, right? Despite all the good intention, I want to say Nigeria has one of the we are very, very good in creating policies. And last week I was at Policy in Innovation Center program Gender Summit, and um one of the highlights of the event was that Nigeria has the largest female businesses. So in Nigeria, we have the largest female-run businesses, SMEs, female-run businesses, and most of these interventions are fragmented and urban focused and sometimes misaligned, right, with the realities of SMEs in Nigeria and in Africa. So government intervention often stop at policy statement without strong execution framework that truly are relatable to the grassroots businesses, right? And private sector programs sometimes prioritize branding, aesthetic, CSR, optics over sustainable impact, right? They don't after running a boot camp or running a workshop, how many of the tech hubs or programs go back to go and check their mama Ngozi or their mama Nkechi after 1 year? How is she doing? How is she coping? Are they models? Are they models draft out for such sustainability plan? We don't have that. And those are the gaps, right? Those are some of the points that I want to highlight first, right? We are very, very good in doing 1 million program for SMEs, lion projects. I used to call them elephant projects, right? We are very, very good in doing elephant projects. We can just wake up and say that we want to train 1 million SMEs. It's beautiful, but are we drafting out sustainability plans, right? Are we drafting out models? Are we looking around practical steps that affect grassroots? So I will want to highlight that. Then also I want to say, first we have to embed digital literacy into every SME support program, right? We have to offer SME loans. We have to offer SMEs grants, also capital. Without digital adoption, will only be sustainable like an analog business, but it will not be a reality in this digital economy, right? And also, secondly, I
Yes.
want to
Yeah.
say that we have to move from short-term workshop to long-term mentorship and market access
Mm.
programs, right? We have to provide SMEs with market access. Most of these SMEs don't even need your money. They just need market access. Show them how to get their customers. They will be fine. Show them how to reach to their next 5,000 customers. They will be good. Show them how to stay long in business through practical hands-on mentorship. It will go a long way. SMEs need to consistently handhold, right? They need to be given a handhold approach whereby you are taking SMEs by the hand, you are holding them like how a father is crossing a road with his 3 years old child, right? You have to hold the child, right? Take the child by the hand and cross the road. That's how business is. It's a tough one. It's a tough marketplace. And you have to hold that SMEs. Hold that SME. You should not have accident. Let nothing happen to that SME. You have to you have to guide that business because they hold a pivotal part in our economic prosperity, right? If SMEs thrive, the standard of living increase and productivity also increase. They tend to employ people and the possibilities is endless, right? So I want to emphasize on that. Also, lastly, I want to say we need to encourage more public private co-creation, not partnership, co-creation, right? Um, there is a lot that I think the private sector would want to teach those in the private sector, and a lot the private sector as well will want to teach those in the public sector as well. Too many often, right? Policy are being drafted in isolation, right? We will just have few people in Abuja just come together and just draft out a policy and just tell everybody to accept it, right? a lot of times policy have been drafted in isolation. If SMEs were in the table as well, all the stakeholders in the table as well with the SMEs, right, to be in the table to design intervention models that will be more effective for for how they tend to do business, how they survive, and how they can strive and how they can scale. I think those programs, and that would be more of a realistic plan than just the elephant projects that we normally used to do. So I think those are those are the key indicators I will want to mention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that very honest perspective. And I know that it's important to not shy away from addressing tough truths like this because, I mean, acknowledging them is the first step towards real change. And also, discussions like this remind us of the need to fully be involved in optimizing our environment to favor these MSMEs. And I hope that all the key stakeholders that are watching this video right now can just double up their efforts.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are a step closer to the end of this session. And if our MSMEs watching this video can take away anything from this discussion, I think it should be this next segment. So Emmanuel, if you had to give our MSMEs three practical steps that they can take immediately, like today, now, to begin their digital transition, what would these three steps be?
All right. Thank you so much. I would love to give more than three, but since you told me I should give, I will give three. First I would
Yeah,
say,
you can go ahead and give as much as possible
all right,
within our time.
all right, no problem. First I would say secure your digital identity, right? And you many SMEs will want to ask how, right? At the very least, right, you have to create a digital presence for yourself, right? Via Google My Business, via WhatsApp Business, via the social media. And in today's market, if customers cannot find you online, you don't exist, right?
Yes,
If if I
yes,
cannot find what you are doing online, I will believe that you don't exist. So firstly, I would
you're a
say,
scam.
exactly. You're like another Ponzi scheme, right? So I want to say secure your digital identity is very important. Secondly, I want to say digitalize one business process today. As an SME, you need to digitalize one business process first, right? Whether it's moving from manual record, your bookkeeping record, to a simple Excel sheet, or using POS or money payment systems, or sending receipts by WhatsApp. Start small and look around, expanding really fast, right? Start small, then scale. So I want to say digitalize one business process first, then with time, then you then move closer to your dream. Then thirdly, I want to say, commit yourself to lifelong learning. Commit yourself to lifelong learning. I want to highlight that I just recently got accepted to Eternal Digital Residency Launchpad. So my business as well
Oh
is
wow.
in the Africa free trade zone, right? So I have a virtual office in Lagos, and I'm based in the north, right? I have presence now with being part of the digital residences. There are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of things that when we open our mind to learning, we will understand a lot. And not just that, it gives me the advantage to now be an exporter, not just thinking local. Now I can export most of what we do locally and export it to some of the African market. So it's very important that we commit ourselves to lifelong learning, right? We should always be open-minded to learning and to growth. So I want to say digital tools revolve daily. We have AI right now. There are a lot of tools that we want to constantly learn. I want to say this was my first time even using this particular tool as well that we were doing this recording, and it was interesting for me, right? SMEs should be committed to monthly learning, attend free seminars, free workshops, take short online courses, peer-to-peer learning section, ask questions, be curious, right? Even learn one new skill a month, compound into massive growth over time, right? There's there one of my mentor is one of the biggest, I will not want to mention his name. He's one of the biggest players in the Africa ecosystem. And he always used to say a point, right? Learn learn how to track your progress. As an SME, learn how to track your progress. See where you are growing at, see what you need to do, and also be open to correction, be open to customer feedback. Take feedback seriously, right? Take those data in. Merely you do a transaction with Oche or with Abdullahi or with somebody, right? Ask him, what do you think? What are areas that you think I should improve on? What are the practical steps I should do even better? And you then learn, right? A customer centric approach towards everything that you do. It makes you go even bigger and even strive even better. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, I can hear you. I think I lost you for a bit, but I was able to get everything that you said. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. This is exactly the type of clarity that we need. Very simple, actionable steps that can be implemented right away. And my key takeaway is basically start creating your digital presence. Create your pages. It's the handles that you need for your business from there, and then work your way
Be
up to
everywhere.
posting
Be
things.
everywhere.
And yes, yes. And then digitize one process today. If it's your financial records, how you keep your records. If it's how you give people, how you tell people money na 200 naira, or start building invoices using digital platforms. There are a lot of easy to use ones out there. And then there is also open your mind to learning, like be open to learning. If there's any free course that will be beneficial for your business, join it. If it's a free webinar, join. I mean, you're not really going to spend more than your data. And, you already use your data to watch TikTok videos. So this is more beneficial for you. So thank you so much, Emmanuel, for sharing your expertise with us today. And I thank everyone else for joining. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Emmanuel, because we are already at the end of this session.
All right. So my final words. No, I will not want to say my final words though. um oh, I'll- to just wrap up, right? Having worked across Nigeria, Africa, northern Nigeria for many years, one truth that I want to say for SMEs, they are the lifeblood of our economy, right? For us to have a thriving economy, we need to play pay close attention to how SMEs remain relevant in the next decade, right? Digital transformation is not optional, is a necessity. And my message will be very, very simple. Start small, start today. Trust digital as your growth partner, not your competitor, right? Stay consistent and keep learning. If we, as ecosystem enablers, policymakers, and partners, continue to provide the right platform, the right mentorship programs, the right digital tools, then Nigeria SMEs will not just thrive, but we scale into regional and global players. And those are some of the key pointers I want to make. And I want to say, this coffee chat is one step to that journey. And I am honored to share all of this with you. And thank you so much for inviting me. I will always accept to even
Thank
do
you
this
very much,
even
Matt.
better and even bigger next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel. And we are very honored to have you with us today. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that is watching. Remember that going digital involves having the right mindset, just as Emmanuel said, the right skills, the right support, of course. And that's what Cafe Innovate Hub is providing. So until next time, keep innovating, everyone, keep growing, and keep taking that next step forward. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.